Today, we will be looking at our Styles tab. Here are all of the different default styles for this element, so file uploader, group focus, etc. And this just maintains consistency throughout your application. But let's look at text. Your bubble application will default to more, but I deleted some that I don't use, namely the section headings. And I find that these are the ones that get used the most. Here, you can change them using the different values that we discussed in our previous lesson, and then we can also add a style. For example, body small will be a text style, and given that our body is size 14, we can make body small size 12, and we can use this throughout our application. I just want to also draw attention to the fact that body is the default. So when you add a new text, it automatically is of size and description of body. Let's also look at other things that we use a lot, such as buttons. Here you can also default that, and when you use a button, these styles are always available to you. Now let's look at our fonts. Right now I've Open Sans as my main font, which means that all new text things that I add are going to be of Open Sans, but I can easily change it from one place only, and that will be reflected all throughout my application. Colors are also an important part, and here Bubble gives you some of your defaults, and they can be changed from over here. You can also create a new one, and we can see that over here and select it in our application. Right now I have a text, like I said, it defaulted to body, but I can change that here. I can also override the style, but I don't recommend doing this because it's not consistent with the rest of your application, and if you want it to be, you'll have to replicate it on each text box rather than it already being that way. But I just want to change the color to show you. Down here are our color variables. So let's choose our destructive color. Right now it's this blue, but honestly I prefer it be this sort of red. Since that text was already linked to destructive, not to the blue, we can see that this text has now become red. This makes it so that if we want to change the color scheme of our application, and we are constantly using these colors rather than creating our own, we only really need to change it in one place. So I hope this was helpful, and in our next lesson, we will be covering responsive design.